Can you kind of give us the context around quantum, which at first NVIDIA seemed to poo-poo, is now saying we're cool on that too. And again, these other competitors, obviously, we're like D-Wave is down 14%.
Yeah, so Jensen and NVIDIA has moved its estimates of quantum from the initial thing that he said 15 to 30 years. He's now clarified that 5 to 15 years. And so that is actually more near term than he initially had talked about. I think he had the chance to talk to a lot of quantum companies, understand the milestones. Just in the last 90 days, we've had key milestones from Google with the Willow chip. We've had Amazon with the Ocelot chip, and we've had Microsoft with the Majorana 1 chip. That's 3 key milestones on error correction, bringing down the noise and errors in these quantum chips. That's the key to look at when you look at scaling quantum computers. The future is not quantum or GPU, it's GPU and quantum together.
Can I ask you something as well? So you were spun off from Google, were you not?
That's right.
Okay, so Google's biggest acquisition ever this week, by far.
Wiz.
$30 billion.
$32 billion.
Wiz, you know, and you're sort of...
Founded like 4.5 years ago.
Exactly, in 22. And I know you guys are sort of in the cyberspace. I don't know if we quite put it that way, because this is all getting very sophisticated.
Yeah.
But does that acquisition make sense to you? Or as we're talking about quantum and AI and all of this, does Google need to do something more clearly in the avenues of these two developing technologies?
Well, Google has a deep commitment, of course, to AI with Gemini, and has one of the biggest programs on quantum with its Willow chip. And again, the big demonstration from Google recently with Hartman and team is that as you scale the number of qubits, you can actually suppress that noise, those errors that pop up. That's the key metric we need to see happen as we scale from hundreds of qubits where we are today to thousands to millions of qubits.
Let me go back to sort of my take, and maybe I'm way off here. Okay. We've been talking about flying cars since the late 1960s. We've been talking about flying cars for 50 years. We used to have supersonic air travel, the Concorde. Now we don't.
Hopefully we'll have it again with boom.
Hopefully you must have it, I think, to get here on time. My only point is that given, and I know you're not a markets guy, Jack, but given all the attention around AI and all the money we're spending, which is propping up the stock market, is there any chance, are you confident that all the stuff we're talking about ultimately will have that last mile that enables this to occur? Because flying cars happen. They're possible. They're just not probable or profitable. And so we don't have them, but we should. Are you confident that AI will be there when we need it?
Brian, great question. I think the last 2 years was really about ChatGPT, about GPTs doing more consumer, prosumer work where you type in a prompt, you get back an essay, an email, a summary. The next 2 years is really about B2B. It's really about impact in pharma, in making new medicines and new diagnostics. It's really about energy. Aramco using AI now to take hydrocarbons from low-value fuels to high-value composites and higher-value products they can sell in the market. Their downstream is going to change radically in the next few years. It's talking about chemistry and energy and batteries. It's talking about the automakers. Jensen made an announcement yesterday about GM, 2 days ago about GM. You're going to see the automakers start to use AI, not just for autonomous, but also to lightweight the vehicles, to actually change the product itself. So the big demarcation point in AI is last 2 years is really about consumer AI. The next 2 years about B2B AI. Brian, that is a much bigger impact on the economy. That's 80%, Kelly, of the GDP of the economy.
I'd rather have ChatGPT and Grok than flying cars, personally. I don't need the flying car. I'm good.